Level 1. The private. Imagine you are on a long bus ride late at night. You are just sitting there being quiet and eating a sweet snack. Then the bus stops and you have to get off. As soon as you step out, it is very dark, and a man starts shouting at you very loudly. He is wearing a big round hat and he is very close to your face. He asks why you are happy, but you are actually very scared. Your face just looks funny because you are nervous. He tells you to get on the ground right now, so you have to do many push-ups on the hard road with a lot of people you do not know. It is very loud and very scary. After that, they take away all of your toys and your clothes. They even cut off all of your hair so everyone looks the same. They give you new clothes and big boots that do not feel good on your feet. You have to sleep in a huge room with 50 other people. Everyone is scared and nobody can sleep at all. Every morning you have to wake up when it is still dark outside. You run and you do more push-ups until your body feels very tired. But then you start to learn new things. You learn how to walk in a straight line with your friends. You learn how to use a tool for hunting. You learn how to find your way in the forest and how to help a friend who is hurt. The bosses are very mean and they yell a lot. They want to see if you are tough. If you forget to make your bed or if there is a tiny bit of dirt, everyone has to do push-ups until they are too tired to move. You might get mad at a friend who forgets to clean, but then you learn a secret. If you help your friend fix his bed, then nobody gets in trouble. You have to work together as a team or you cannot stay. Some people get too sad and go home, but you stay because you want to finish. Finally, the big day comes. Your family comes to visit, and your mom is so happy that she cries. You stand up very tall and straight. You and your friends are now like a big family and you love them very much. You do not have much money or many things, and you still have more to learn. But you did it. You finished the hard work, and you are very brave. That makes you feel very proud of yourself. Level 2. The specialist. Now imagine you have been doing this for about 2 years. You went to a special school to learn how to do a real job like fixing big trucks or helping people who feel sick. Now, you live at a new place to do that work every day. It is very different from the scary start. It feels better because people are not shouting at you all the time anymore. But it is also a little bit worse because it can be so boring. You spend a lot of time just sitting around and waiting for something to happen. On your shirt, you have a small picture that looks like a shield. Even though you have this, you still have to listen to everyone else. You are like a busy worker bee. You and your friends do all the heavy lifting and the hard chores. You are very good at 2 things: working hard and finding funny ways to hide so you don't have to work. You are a master at looking busy when you are actually playing. You know the best spots to hide when the boss is looking for someone to sweep the floor. You can make a tiny job that should take a few minutes last all day long. It is like you have a magic sense for when a boss is coming to give you more work. But you still have to do some silly things. Sometimes you have to stay awake all night long just to watch a door. You have to count piles of tools that nobody ever uses. You even have to clean things that are already very clean just because a boss wants to check a box on his paper. You have to sit and listen to very long, boring stories that don't matter to you. Sometimes everyone has to stand outside in the cold rain just to hear a little bit of news. The bosses could have just sent a quick note, but instead you have to hurry up and wait. This means you run to be on time, and then you just stand there for a long time doing nothing. Your room is very small with hard walls and a hard floor. Bosses come into your room to look around and they always say it is messy, even if you worked very hard to clean it up. You eat your meals at a big kitchen with everyone else. The food is free, but it does not taste very good. On the weekends you play with your friends. Some of your friends are getting married even though they are still very young. They do this because if they get married, they get to move out of the small rooms and get a real house with extra money. You watch them get married, but then you see many of them get very sad and stop being married just a little while later. It is a very strange way to live. Level 3. The sergeant. Now you take a big step up and become a leader. They send you to a very important test. You have to wear your fanciest clothes and sit in a room with the oldest bosses. They ask you many hard questions about the rules and old stories. You have to learn every word from a little book and say the answers perfectly, just like a robot. You pass the test. Now you get 3 little stripes to wear on your shirt. These stripes show everyone that you are a boss now. But things change very fast. Suddenly, you are in charge of 4 other people. This is not always fun. If one of your people does something bad, the big bosses get mad at you. You have to watch over your group all day and all night. If one of them gets into trouble on a Saturday night, your phone will ring and you have to go help. If one of them is too slow during a race, the big bosses say it is your fault. If one of your guys is not there in the morning, the older bosses look at you and ask, "Where is your friend? Why do you not know where he is?" You have to know everything about the 4 people in your group. You have to know if they have enough money and if they are feeling happy or sad. You have to make sure they are eating healthy food. Even though you are still very young, you are now their teacher and their helper. You are like a babysitter for grown-ups. It is a very big job and nobody really showed you how to do it. You just have to try your best every day. You also have to write on a lot of paper now. It is more paper than you can even imagine. If you want to take your group outside to play or practice, you have to write on safety papers first. If you want to go for a long walk, you have to write more papers. The whole place runs on big stacks of paper, just like a toy car runs on batteries. If there is no paper, nothing happens at all. You see that being a boss is not like the brave people in the movies. Most of the time, it is just taking care of people who do not want to listen, fixing broken things, and sitting in very long, boring meetings. You think your new job is the coolest thing in the world, but sometimes you also think it is very, very annoying. Level 4. The Staff Sergeant. Now imagine you have been doing this job for a very long time, like 7 or 10 years. You have traveled very far away across the big ocean. You had to stay in yucky, dirty places for a whole year, far away from your warm bed and your family. While you were there, you saw some very scary things that changed how you feel in your heart. Even if you were safe, you heard very loud boom noises that were so strong they made your teeth shake. You might have even lost a very good friend. You do not talk about these things with anyone. It is not because you are trying to be a tough guy, it is just because it is very hard to find the right words to say how you feel. Now you are the boss of a much bigger group of about 10 people. Your big boss tells you what needs to happen and you have to find a way to get it done. You also have to teach the newer bosses who are just starting out. They are exactly like you were a few years ago. You watch them make the same silly mistakes you used to make, and you try your best to be a kind and patient teacher. You have to make sure everyone follows the rules, like having short hair and very clean clothes. Some of the younger people think you are being mean. They get a little bit mad at you, but they do not know that you did not make up the rules. The rules come from very important bosses who are far away and do not even know who you are. Also, your body is starting to feel very old and it hurts a lot. Your knees go ouch because you have walked for many miles. Your back is very sore because you had to carry heavy backpacks over bumpy dirt roads for a long time. Your ears do not work as well as they used to either. You heard too many loud bangs, and now there is a funny ringing sound inside your head that never goes away. You only really notice it at night when it is very quiet. You are still a young man, but you walk and feel like an old grandpa. Someday the doctors will give you some money because your body got hurt. But for right now, you just take some medicine for the pain and you go back to work every single morning. Level 5. The Sergeant First Class. Now things feel very different for you. You are the top boss for a huge group of 40 people. You work right next to a new kind of leader. This person went to a fancy school for a long time and has a shiny badge that says they are the boss. But you have something even better. You have 15 years of practice. You are the person who actually knows how to get things done in the real world. How you and this school boss get along is very important. A smart school boss will sit down and listen to your advice. A silly one will not listen at all. You have worked with both kinds of people. The smart ones do a great job, but the silly ones can make mistakes that get people hurt. You are like a helper who explains things. The fancy bosses sit in clean offices and draw big plans on paper. You take those papers and go outside into the dirt to make the plans come true. You use real tools and real people to finish the work. Plans on paper never know what will go wrong, but you always find a way to fix it. You take care of everyone in your big group. You check if they are sick, if their trucks are broken, and if their families are happy. You have to sign so many papers and go to so many long meetings that your head feels like it is spinning. Getting to this high spot is very, very hard. Sometimes the big bosses might have picked someone else instead of you a few times before they finally let you move up. Not everyone gets to be a top boss. You saw some of your very best friends try to get here, but they could not do it. They were great workers who deserved to win, but the rules for moving up are very tricky, and they are not always fair to everyone. You learned a big lesson: being good at your work is only half of the job. The other half is learning how to be nice and play well with the big bosses at the very top. Level 6. The First Sergeant. Now everyone calls you a special name, Top. You are the biggest boss for a giant group of nearly 200 people. You wear a shiny diamond shape on your shirt, and that diamond is a very, very big deal. It means you are the leader who stands way up at the very front of the line. Whenever there is a big problem, no matter what it is, it comes right to you first. If one of your workers gets in trouble with the police, you have to go and fix it. If a family is crying because they cannot pay for their house, you help them find a way. If someone is feeling very sad and stops eating their dinner, you go talk to them. You are like a super helper who catches every scary secret and every big mess before things get really bad. You work with another boss who went to a fancy school, but that boss is still very young. You are much older and have been doing this job since before that boss was even born. They get to make the big choices, but you are the one who makes sure all the workers actually listen and do their chores. You have to keep track of everything for all 200 people in your group. You know big, deep secrets about these young people that even their own moms and dads do not know. You know who has no money in their pocket, whose family is sad, and who is making bad choices. You even know when someone is having very dark thoughts that make them feel scared. Because you have been doing this for so long, you have had to go to many very sad goodbyes. You have stood very still and quiet while looking at empty boots and a hat. You have had to fold the special flag very carefully with your hands. You have had to sit with moms and dads who are crying because they are so sad, and you watch their hearts break. You carry all those sad stories inside your own heart like a heavy bag. You are a very strong leader, and you remember every single one of their names, and you will never ever forget them for as long as you live. Level 7. The Sergeant Major. Now you are the very top worker boss of all. There is nobody higher than you in the whole group. You work right next to the biggest, fanciest bosses in the building. You tell them exactly what the regular workers need to be happy, because the regular workers are the ones who do all the real work. You have to keep hundreds and hundreds of people safe and make sure everyone is behaving. You go to very giant, important meetings that you never even dreamed of. You sit with the most powerful leaders and talk about huge plans and big piles of money that will change the lives of thousands of people. You are the voice for all the little guys. Sometimes a big boss wants to make a new rule that looks nice on a piece of paper, but would actually make the workers very sad or tired. You are the brave one who stands up and says, "No, that is not a good idea." When the bosses forget that people get tired or that tools can break you, remind them. You tell them that the workers are just regular humans. Not every big boss listens to you, but the really good ones do, because they know you are very smart. You have been doing this hard work for over 20 years now. Your body feels very broken. Doctors had to fix your knees with tools, your shoulder does not move the right way anymore, and your ears have a loud ringing sound every time the room gets quiet. You had to go to scary places far across the world many times. Because of your job, you were away from your house and your family for 7 whole years. Maybe your family stayed together, or maybe they got too sad and left. They never tell you about those sad secrets when you first start the job. Your children grew up while you were far away and you missed seeing them a lot. Finally, they send you to a special school far away for a long time with other top bosses. You learn how to be the very best leader you can be. You write long stories and talk about big rules. You sit at a school desk for the first time in 20 years. Suddenly, you realize that your whole life has been like a giant puzzle. Every hard thing you did was a tiny piece of that puzzle. In this school, you finally put all the pieces together, and you can see the whole big picture for the very first time. Level 8. The Second Lieutenant. Now let's imagine you took a completely different path. Maybe you went to a very fancy school for 4 long years just to learn how to be a leader. Or maybe you were a regular worker first, and the big bosses thought you were so smart that they sent you to a special school for leaders. No matter how you got here, you are now a fancy boss with a college degree. You wear a shiny little gold bar on your shirt. That gold bar tells all the regular workers that you are the boss, but it also tells them that you are very new and do not really know how to do anything yet. They even have funny secret names for you like Butterbar, which they say when you are not looking. You are put in charge of a big group of about 40 people, but here is the most confusing part. Your main helper is a boss who has been doing this job since you were just a little kid in school. It feels very strange. You have the shiny badge that says you are in charge, but they have all the real smarts in their brain. The best thing you can do right now is keep your mouth closed and just listen to them. The next best thing is to say, "I don't know," when you are confused. The silliest thing you could do, and the thing that makes everyone grumpy, is to act like you know everything just because you read about it in a school book. You still have so much to learn. Your school only showed you how things work in books, and your badge only makes you a boss on a piece of paper. Neither of those things makes you good at your job yet. You only get good by trying hard, making lots of mistakes, and trying again. You draw big plans on paper, and then you give them to the older, smarter bosses so they can fix your errors and actually do the work. Every morning you have to stand in front of everyone and lead their exercises. You are leading people who are much older than you and who are better at the job than you are. But you still have to tell them what to do because of your shiny badge. Some will be nice because they like your badge, but many will just wait to see if you are actually a good leader. Level 9. The Colonel. Now imagine you have been a big leader for over 20 years. You started as that brand new boss who didn't know anything, but now you are in charge of a giant army of 5,000 people. Everything below you, every small group and every big group is now your job to look after. You had to climb a very tall mountain to get here. At every step you had to be better than other people who wanted the same job. The higher you go, the harder it gets, and only a few people ever make it to the top. You work from very early in the morning until very late at night, and your whole day is filled with meetings. You talk about big plans, how much money is left, and very serious rules. You have to fix problems that are much bigger than the ones you had before. If a person gets very badly hurt, or if something goes wrong that ends up on the news, you are the one who has to explain it. Sometimes the big bosses say there is not enough money and you have to tell your friends they can't do their fun training. You have to talk to the most important generals and tell them what is happening. You also have to go to fancy parties with regular people who do not know what your job is like. They say thank you and shake your hand, and you have to smile and give speeches about being brave and strong even when you feel very tired inside. When you finally go home, you are so tired that you just sit and stare at a wall for a long time. It is very hard to stop being the big boss and start being a mommy or a daddy. Your brain needs time to change gears so you can talk to your family. Every year that change gets harder and harder to do. You have given so much of your life to this job, and while it is a very big honor, it is also a very heavy weight to carry on your shoulders. You are a very important leader, but sometimes you just want to be a regular person again. Level 10. The General. Now you have reached the very top of the mountain. You have been in the Army for 30 years. You have shiny stars on your shirt that show you are a general. There are only a tiny few of you in the whole world. To get here, you had to work harder than anyone else and give up almost everything. Now you are in charge of thousands and thousands of soldiers across the whole world. You sit in a giant building called the Pentagon and talk to the most important people like the president. You carry a special phone that never turns off, and it is always right next to you. You have to make very big, scary choices that decide if people stay safe or get hurt. You have seen many sad things and stood very still while families cried for their heroes. You are not allowed to look away because it is your job to care for them. The work is very, very hard. You have to talk to people who make the laws and manage more money than you can ever count. You have to be friends with other countries and be smart about people who want to be mean. But your family has paid a big price for your stars. You missed your children's birthdays, their first steps, and many big days because you were always working far away. Your husband or wife had to do everything alone. You are 55 years old now, and you feel a kind of tired that a nap cannot fix. You have given your whole life to this. One day it is time to say goodbye. There is a big party on a grassy field with music and marching. They give you a flag and you say a speech about how much you love your soldiers. You salute one last time and walk away. For the first time in 30 years, the phone stops ringing. The world you knew closes like a big door. You go home with your medals and your memories. You have a quiet life now, but you are not quite sure how to live it yet. You have proud stories and sad stories that stay in your heart. While you are sitting at home somewhere else, a young boy is sitting in an office. He is only 18 years old and he is looking at a book with pretty pictures of soldiers. He wants to do something brave. He signs his name on a piece of paper and gets on a bus. At 2 o'clock in the morning, he steps off that bus and a man starts yelling at him. His old life is gone and a new one is starting. He has no idea what will happen next or how much he will change, but he will figure it out. The story starts all over again.